Hey guys and girls, how's everybody on a really, really cold morning? If you're in the state of Oklahoma or Arkansas, and all the states north of here, many of the states south of here, it's colder than a booger this morning. It is colder than a booger this morning. It's afternoon right now, and it was down to single digits. 6 degrees is what it got down to. It might be 10 or 11 right now. I'm not exactly sure, but I know our chill temperatures are down below zero right now. I think Oklahoma City is down minus 18 or something like that is what I heard in Oklahoma City. We're not going to get above freezing here until Wednesday. But I just had to come out here and walk out here on the dock. I didn't go out on the end of the dock because I wanted to show you that we have ice forming. We have ice forming here around the lake. You see the bank there, it's got ice forming right there, all up and down the bank. And ice forming over here on this side as well. Might be able to show it to you a little bit better over here, I don't know. But you can see the ice forming there on the edge. It's only out, it's out maybe a foot or two right in that area right there. But ice forming on the edge of the lake, and I was down in a pocket down here this morning. The pocket that goes up in there, where we have our water pumps. And God, it's cold. It's cold, man. Get my ears covered up a little bit there, but it is. It's that whole entire pocket has already got ice all over the complete top of it, so it's sheltered there. It's not, the north wind's not hitting it, so that the water's not moving around on top. It's frozen. But anyway, it's cold. That's all there is to it. And it's going to be Wednesday before it gets above freezing. We still have water. Apache still has water, so that's all good. That's all good. Chris and I did not go to church this morning. We did not go to church this morning. It was about 10 or 12 degrees below zero, chill temperature here with the temperature down to 6 degrees, and I just felt like it's just too dangerous weather to take her out in. She could be fine, you know, the cars are warm and everything, but she's got to transfer from the house to the car, and then get to church, she's got to transfer from the car to church. And plus the fact you have something like a flat tire, you have a little fender bender and run off the road and nobody sees you, and you could be there for a while, and there's just all kinds of things bad. And I told her, I said, honey, I said, we're not going to go to church this morning. She said, good. She said, it's so cold. And I said, yeah. I said, I just can't take a chance of you getting sick. And she said, me? And I said, yeah, I just don't want to take a chance of you getting sick. I just can't let you get sick. She said, well, what about you? You can't get sick. And I said, well, I'm not really worried about me, but bless her heart, she's concerned about me. That's pretty sweet, I thought, and I love that. But she's back in bed, taking a nap. We got up and I fed her breakfast and stuff, and now she's back in bed. Just put her back in bed a little while ago. She wants to watch the Dallas Cowboys play. She does have the television on, watching Kansas City and Cincinnati play football. But it's going to be a beautiful Sunday afternoon. It's just Chris and I here at the ranch. Miranda did come in and work a couple days this week, which really helps me. And I told her to just wait till Wednesday when the weather warms up to come back in for a couple days this next week. And but Chris and I are when we're here together, it's just great. I just love it. And she's just doing well. Her blood pressure is staying down. Everything's just going absolutely fine. God is just blessed and blessed and blessed and blessed. And she's talking much better now. We carry on conversations. And sometimes she carried on a conversation I don't understand, but most of the time I do. And she's still on physical therapy, trying to learn how to walk. And the right arm's not responded at all. But everybody said that when she recovers, that'll be the last thing to recover. But you know, it wouldn't surprise me if God does a miracle and just absolutely completely heals her sometime in the next day or two. I mean, that would, it'd be a miracle. It'd be something I'd probably cry about and I'd talk about a lot. But golly, that would just be, it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. That's the kind of God I serve. But we've had a good week here. The deer have done well this week. We've been showing a lot of the bucks are coming around. We had 5 bucks in the yard this morning. That's right, 5 bucks in the yard this morning. We got 3, 4, 5 hanging around all the time. A lot of the does are coming around and coming to the feeder and coming to the yard where we got this rye planted. I just made a mistake by not buying 3 bags of 100-pound bags of rye instead of 1. And I'll get that rye planted a little bit more out here next year. But it's been a great week. We did go to church on television this morning. My buddy Larry Sissel called and he said, you didn't go to church. I noticed on 360 that you didn't go to church. And I said, that's right. And I said, I think they probably had church here at Midway Hills Baptist. And he said, well, they did have a church at Keys Baptist. I see that Jamie and Sherry and Mandy are all over at church right now. And I said, yeah. I said, it was just so cold. I just didn't want to take a chance and get Chris out in this kind of weather. When you get down below zero chill temperature, and I know some of y'all are 40 below chill temperature. Some of y'all have been commenting on it. It's just amazing. And when you comment on this video, let me know what the weather's like. And somebody's going to say, Jimmy, it's 75 degrees here where we are. And that's good. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. But anyway, it just gets cold out here. I'm just about to get chilled to the bone out here just talking. But, you know, I know some of you will probably write me a nasty letter that I watched Joel Osteen on television this morning. Every time I mention Joel Osteen, I get some bad letters. A lot of Christians call him the prosperity preacher. And a lot of Christians think he's a heretic because he doesn't preach hellfire and brimstone. And can I tell you, here's my opinion on all that, and I'll just throw this out here for what it's worth. I believe we need more hellfire and brimstone preachers. I got saved at 12 years old by a preacher that's I think all he ever preached about. I'm sure he preached about heaven and other things, but he preached a lot about hell, and those are sermons I remember. And I got saved at 12 years old, and because I didn't want to go to hell. And here I am moved the front number this summer in July, and I still don't want to go to hell, and never will see the gates of hell. Unless you can see them from heaven, I'll never see the gates of hell. That wind, I'm out of the wind. I didn't go all the way out the end of the pier because I wanted to stay out of the wind a little bit, but golly, it's blowing right here, and it's just my ears are about to crack. They're frozen so solid. But anyway, Joel Osteen does preach joy and happiness and goodness and kindness and prosperity all the time. And God wants us to be prosperous. God doesn't want us to be poor and broke. He wants us to be prosperous. He wants us to be healthy. He wants us to be happy. He wants us to be joyful. And he also does not want us to go to hell. So I think we need both type preachers. And I know that Joel Osteen is not a hellfire and brimstone preacher, but I sure enjoy listening to him. He makes me feel better. He cheers up my day sometimes with just his smile and his countenance and his joyful outlook on life. And God has made him dramatically prosperous. I understand he doesn't even take a salary from his church there, Lakewood, in Houston, Texas, which is one of the largest churches in the country. And I understand he doesn't even take a salary because he makes so much money off of his books and his personal appearances around the country that he doesn't even take a salary from his church. That money just goes back into the ministry. So I really believe he's sincere about what he does, and I believe he's led a lot of people to Christ. And whether you come to Jesus through a hellfire and brimstone preacher, or I'll just say what y'all call him, or not y'all, but some people call him the prosperity preacher. You could just easily call him the joy and happiness preacher because he preaches a lot about that. But whether you come to God by that, or whether you come to God by a friend of yours out in a bass boat fishing, or on a football field, or in a locker room, or in the middle of a storm that you're having in your life, that some good Christian individual talks to you about Jesus, makes no difference. And I think God uses all of the above. He used heathens in the Bible. He used very sinful, evil people to bring people to him, He used those people to accomplish what he desired in his life too. So I think God is using Joel Osteen just as much as he is using Billy Graham. And Billy Graham definitely was one of the hellfire and brimstone preachers, but he preached a lot of good stuff also. God is good. God is love. God is awesome. And you just have to go through the Bible and you can just find person after person after person that God made not only prosperous and healthy and wealthy, he made them the richest people in the whole land, a lot of them. Job, before he had all of his problems with the devil, Job was one of the most wealthiest people in the land. And then afterwards, when he fought through all that and he kept praising God, kept praising God, kept praising God, kept praising God, kept putting his hopes in God, ended up with twice as much as he had before the devil attacked him. So we need all of those kind of preachers. We need them all. We need them all, I believe. And you know, and I think that our preacher last Sunday at Midway Hills Baptist Church, our preacher said it was an anniversary of when they started that church, and he said, you know, when I started this church, he told God, if all the work and effort and time and sacrifice that we put into starting this church, if one person gets saved, it's worth all that I put into it. That's what Chopper McCartney, our preacher, said last Sunday. And it might have been Sunday before last, I'm not sure now. But I thought about that statement, and I thought about, by golly, he's right. He's right. Now, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds have been saved. We had a little girl baptized that very Sunday, as a matter of fact. Probably what kind of reminded him of that. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds have been saved. But that's sort of the way that you and I, as Christians, and if you're not a Christian, you need to be saved. But those of us that are Christians, that's the way that we ought to look at it. If we say kind words to everybody we run into, if we tell somebody about Jesus every single day, maybe hundreds, maybe thousands, if one of them gets saved, it's worth what we put into it. It's worth what we put into it. You and I can't save anybody. We have no power to save anybody. We don't have the power that God gave the disciples when he sent them out into a cruel world. And he said, I send you out as sheep among wolves. Wolves. Wolves eat sheep. Wolves kill sheep. That's where I'm sending you, is as a sheep among wolves, where you might be killed. You might be beaten. You might be thrown in jail. You might be brought in front of rulers and chastised. But I send you out with great power. I give you the power to cast out demons. I give you the power to heal. I give you the power to make blind people see, to make dead people walk. I give you, as my disciples, that power. That's what Jesus Christ did. That's what he did. Now, he hasn't given us that power. We don't have the power. We don't have the power to heal people. We don't have the, boy, I wish I did. Chris would be walking right now. But I know a God that can heal her. I know a God that can heal her. But we do have the power. We do have the ability. We do have the time and the chance to tell people about Jesus. We do have the chance to maybe bring somebody to Christ that might not go to Christ. We do have the power to be a part of keeping somebody from going to hell. We can't save them. We can't forgive them of their sins. We can forgive them of any sin or any wrong that they've done against us, no matter who they are. Even if they're our archest enemy, we can forgive them. And then God will forgive them that sin once they come to him and ask him for that. So, guys and girls, go out there and have you a great one today. It's cold out here, but I just had to come out here and do this in the cold. I just had to do it. I said, if it gets to 40 below, I'm going to go out there and talk to everybody because I sure do love you.